The Energy Institute was started actually out of an existing institute, which was the Clean Fuels Institute. And the Clean Fuels Institute has been within the CUNY system since the early 70s. It was started by a rather famous chemical engineer, Arthur Squires, who'd worked on the Manhattan Project. And the purpose of the Clean Fuels Institute at that time was to improve coal combustion. So it was a clean coal institute, really. When I came, which was about 9 months ago, the Board of Trustees actually increased the scope of the institute, not just to cover clean fuels, but all of energy. So it now included, renewables, oil, gas, coal, solar, of course, and wind. But we decided to focus primarily, at least in the early stages, on electrical energy storage. And the reason that we were interested in that was basically that it seemed like the Achilles heel of any sort of renewable energy program, because both the sun and the wind don't necessarily supply energy when it's needed. For example, if you need energy for lighting, obviously the sun isn't shining at that point. And the wind tends to blow in periods when the energy demand isn't necessarily high. So if the contribution of renewables is to ever exceed 3 or 4% of the energy requirements of the nation, then we have to have some form of electricity or energy storage. It can be stored thermally, like in solar thermal plants, but it actually is probably more efficient to store it electrically, which means really large batteries. Cost becomes one of the most important factors in any new technology which is going to be widely deployed. So you can't just sort of go off on the technology that you have for your laptop computer batteries, and you need to go and look in radically new directions. So we selected areas where if you like, the ingredients of the batteries could be rather inexpensive, like zinc or aluminum. We still look at lithium too, because lithium is so light, but cost also plays a big role. So the technologies we are trying to develop are aimed at getting the costs down into this $100 to $200 a kilowatt electric range. And they are very attractive technologies which could go there, but they've never been successfully used in rechargeable batteries. They've been used in batteries for hearing aids or batteries for watches and things like this, where they basically die after 6 months or a year and you don't recharge them. And these are typically systems based on metals like zinc, aluminum, but mainly zinc, and they're very attractive if you can make them rechargeable. I think the great benefits you get is that these batteries can not only be cheap in principle, but we can also have a lifetime which the utilities expect. A utility expects a plant to last for at least 30 years, sometimes 60 years. They're not used to things sort of petering out after 10 years. So the fact that you can regenerate them in every servicing cycle and the battery lasts essentially forever, that's very attractive.